If you don't know me, my name is Chris Speece, and as everybody already knows, I'm currently enrolled in the bachelor's program here at Western University of Hartford. My analysis today will be on how do we prevent school violence, analysis, school safety. All right, the client for this project here was Sergeant Clint E. Boring, who currently serves as the Harrisville Detachment Commander in Rich County, West Virginia. He has 16 years with West Virginia State Police. He served with Morgantown Detachment, West Union, Elizabeth Detachment, St. Mary's Detachment, and of course now he's Harrisville. Prior to that, he served for 5 years as a Dodge County Sheriff. Correct. With the Dodge County Sheriff's Department today. All right, the issue, school violence and prevention. In the initial meeting, myself and Sergeant Bourne began talking about various problems in the field of criminal justice, ranging from racial profiling, officer-involved shootings, and current issues with the media. In conclusion, he advised that he believed more should be done in regards to research for school violence and preventing it from occurring. I'm sure we all share the same opinion, but Sergeant Bourne voiced it specifically that children are priceless and more should be done to keep our schools safe and secure. I mean, everybody every day depends on the school to keep their kids safe whenever they send them to school. He believed there were some common sense issues that we could address with school safety that we're not actually implementing, that are actually out there and available. All right, theory and reasoning. In the initial meeting, we began speaking about various problems, and it just led into basically school violence. The goal of this presentation is to explore possible solutions to the issues involved with violence and bring them to light. Our nation's most valuable assets are our youth, so our number one responsibility should be protecting them and providing them a safe environment. More needs to be done to protect our children. The resources are available, we just need to utilize them and put them in place. Schools need to be more secure and keeping those out. Basically, keep the doors locked. And you can walk up to almost every school in West Virginia, go in the front door today and have no problem getting in. There are some easy solutions you can see to curb some of this violence, and these solutions need to be implemented. All right. While preparing for this project, I utilized and reviewed numerous scholarly articles and government websites. In my opinion, our schools are relatively safe, and major issues of school violence are few and far between, but should move on for even more safety. We are a nation that fails to prepare, but in the event of tragedy, we rapidly make changes in regards to preventing it from occurring again. In short, we're reactive, we're not proactive. We can see that with the airline industry. More needs to be done to keep our children safe at school. And on the inside, we must address the mental health issues of the students involved in the education system. On the outside, we've got to secure our schools, even if that means to make it more fortified, actually, having doors that actually are remote locking and things like that. Across the country, school violence and incident training for both law enforcement and professionals involved in the education system is ongoing. And most importantly, this needs to continue. All right. It is hypothesized that there are warning signs to look for in troubled students, along with simple logical methods to keep our schools safer and more secure from those wishing to cause harm, along with some media censorship in regards to over-reporting and media speculation in regard to school violence. School safety encompasses an enormous amount of events ranging from protecting our students from violence, exposure to weapons, threats, theft, bullying, and the sale or use of illegal or controlled substances on school grounds, and the encompassing activities. School safety is directly related to a student's overall academic performance and emotional health. If a child's not safe at school, they're not going to learn at school. If they're constantly looking over their shoulder thinking somebody's going to hit them, smack them, or yell at them, they're not going to learn. Students who are victims of physical or emotional harassment or involved in the sale or use of illegal controlled substances are at much higher risk of poor attendance, course failure, and of course dropping out of school. The safety issues affecting our nation's schools can develop from both the inside and the outside. In the aftermath of school violence, we find ourselves contemplating three crucial questions. First, we ask ourselves, what elements created this violence? Second, why didn't we predict it? And third, how do we prevent it from happening again? Sometimes it feels like we ask a magic 8 ball, and that's the answer we come up with. Investigations after investigations have been conducted into why someone may plan and carry out an attack of this nature. And it all begins with evaluating the early warning signs of the perpetrator. According to child development, early warning signs provide us with the motivation to check out our concerns and address the troubling individuals' needs responsibly by assisting them before problems escalate. But when we think about it, our educators are on the front line of defense when it comes to observing troublesome behavior and making necessary referrals to appropriate professionals inside the education system. When attempting to detect these early warning signs, our professionals must not inappropriately label or begin stigmatizing individuals because they appear to fit a specific set of early warning indicators. It is understandable for an educator to be concerned about an individual, but it's unacceptable to overreact and jump to conclusions. Those inside the education system, including teachers and administrators, are professionals in their field, and they only receive a small amount of training in observing mental health, but are by no means experts. This training needs to continue. There's telltale signs that educators can look for, that we've seen incident after incident involving school violence, but yet we still look over them and our educators don't receive the proper training. All right, if the education system desires to be productive and effective in improving mental health of the students, they must take special care and train the entire school community to understand and identify the early warning signs. When an education professional seeks help for a troubled individual or their friends report these worries about them, or when their parents raise concerns about a child's thoughts or habits, these troubled individuals need to get the help necessary to help them improve. This will come by actively sharing information inside and outside along with the school community. And by no means is this going to provide a quick fix for the issues at hand. This is only to get the ball rolling. This is not going to fix itself overnight. All right, mental health and bullying. When we think about it, mental health is a major contributor to social acts of school violence. Almost every single incident of school violence can be attributed back to bullying. Almost all school shootings are associated with bullying. The mental health, we can cover depression, bullying, harassment, and social isolation. Wanting and desiring to belong in a certain social class in school is important to most students. I mean, I'd say almost all students. But being put down, embarrassed, physically or terrorized at school on a regular basis is harmful for every student, at any grade, from any social class. No matter what, that student's going to feel unwanted or rejected. But according to a study conducted by the National School Safety Center, in 2008 through 2009 school year, 28% of students interviewed between the ages of 12 to 18 reported being bullied in school. I mean, that's 1 in 4 children. All right. Is bullying connected to some of the most notorious school violence incidents that have occurred on school campuses across the nation in recent years? Of course, you already gave that away. For those of you that remember the movie Billy Madison, big on bullying in there. All right. The act of bullying can occur while at school, during school-sponsored activities, or basically when an adolescent or group of adolescents intentionally and repeatedly uses their power to hurt individuals or groups. It happens everywhere. All right. What is violence? Violence is the use of force to harm a human or an animal, with the end result being physical or psychological injuries. We as adults and as children have been exposed to an outrageous amount of violence through entertainment, on television, and video games. Every day we see it. No matter what you're doing, you see it. It seems as if we can't even watch the news without hearing about some shooting or terrorist attack somewhere. It's always, it's in the public spotlight. That's what gets the ratings. Violence is part of the real world. There's no denying that. But it's destructive in nature that children are able to turn on the TV in the middle of the day and see some corpse riddled with bullet holes, whether it be here in America or overseas in Iraq or Afghanistan. And it's not like we'd actually bring this stuff into our house. And you wouldn't drag a body into your house for your kids to see. You sure as hell wouldn't bring somebody in that's raping someone for your family to watch. But yet we subject ourselves to it every single day on television. And we even pay to go watch the movie theaters. All right. Media speculation and reporting. When a school shooting occurs, the questions most people ask is why, and how could someone commit such an act of this terrible nature? It is difficult and even impossible for most of us to comprehend how an individual can take a firearm and kill numerous people, especially when the perpetrator is an adolescent targeting fellow students. The FCC, the Federal Communications have regulations in place to prevent television broadcasters from showing nudity during daylight viewing hours, but just need to stand silent when graphic footage the news and the media regularly air. And you can watch CNN when they got a beheading on there, and they'll put up the small words that say, "Viewer discretion is advised," and show moments leading right up to it. But yet, you can't have a woman's breast on television in the middle of the day. I mean, what's more damaging for your children to watch? And to make matters worse, as soon as an incident of violence of this nature plays out, the media soon to arrive begin reporting what they speculate to be the truth or their motive behind the perpetrator's actions. I mean, this isn't news. This isn't news. I mean, all they got to do is get on the television, and there's people that worship people like Nancy Grace, that whatever she says is the gospel. And it's ridiculous. It only makes things worse. I mean, we can see it now with all the rioting and everything going on. The entire story isn't out. Just what the media wants to speculate what happened and what led up to it. And it only makes things worse. Subsequently, these speculations are broadcast free and open to the general public. We in turn interpret this. They form their own opinions on how these tragedies can occur and what should be done to prevent them, just by what the media is releasing. All right, violent games. It seems that video games are only getting more graphic and violent as time goes on. I'm sorry if I offended anybody who likes playing video games. I'm not a big gamer. It's sad when you play a video game and your character can pay a prostitute, have sex with her, and when they're finished, beat her and take their money back. I mean, what's that teaching our children today? I mean, violence sells, and as a society, we buy it time after time. And the only way to curb this solution, or the only way to curb this problem, is to address it from the beginning and not produce it or grotesquely report it. This, in return, will be a sacrifice to total viewers and profits, neither of which various forms of media would be willing to accept. And there's so many of these copycat killers from these school shootings that just see this stuff on the news and see how much that person is idolized, and they want to be remembered in that manner. I mean, if you compare the United States to Canada, the school shootings in Canada are few and far between. And the reason of this, in my opinion, and according to some research, in Canada, it is illegal to put a mass shooter's picture on the news. It is illegal to put their name. The information is not released. I mean, they remember their victims there, don't get me wrong, but they don't give the notoriety to the actual perpetrators. I mean, we've got it backwards here. I mean, we leave the victims behind, but yet we plaster the murderer's faces all over the news. So if you've got someone who's on the edge and they want to be remembered for something, even though it's something terrible, something ridiculous, they're going to see that as an opportunity. And we have several copycat killers. In July of 1991, the American Psychological Association developed a panel entitled the Commission on Youth and Violence. The panel studied the vast types of violence growing with our nation's youth over the past 50 years. They were able to conclude that the higher levels of violence they viewed on TV are directly correlated with an increased acceptance of aggression, attitude, and increased aggressive behavior. But basically, the more violence one views, the more violent they're going to be. Violence is not random, uncontrollable, or an inevitable occurrence. Many factors, both in individual and social life, contribute to an individual's propensity to use violence, and many of these factors are within the power and ability to change. How bad can it be? Well, studies show that by the time an average American child reaches the age of 18, they observe approximately 200,000 traumatized acts of violence and approximately 40,000 traumatized murders. Our children are becoming emotionally numb today and desensitized to what is actually going on. I mean, they see it day after day after day after day. Death and murder, death and murder, death and murder. And it's getting ridiculous. The thing is, most adults can separate when it comes to video games. They can separate fantasy and reality. But when it comes to children, it's not the same. They see this as a blurred line. I mean, from a very young age, we teach our children to believe in fictitious individuals, Santa, the Easter Bunny. And they believe in that. I mean, that's what we ingrain in them. But then we give them a video game where they can turn around, they can shoot people left and right, left and right, left and right, and blow up school buses. And then we want to tell them, well, no, you can't do that in real life, but it's okay to do it in the game. I mean, we understand the consequences. All right. Horrific and oftentimes unspeakable tragedies have occurred in the educational organization across our nation, We have learned a considerable amount of information in regards to the causation and prevention of school violence. And along the way, we have discovered they can happen anywhere in the country. No state or region is exempt. All the nation's education systems are vulnerable, and they must prepare in the event of an incident of this nature. There is no quick fix to these issues and discrepancies affecting school violence. We as a society need to invest time and the effort to effective and comprehensive violence prevention programs. We're sure damn the way we're going now. Any questions?